Hello out there, my beautiful YouTube friends. I'm Cindy and you are watching Sincerely Cindy Settle, and I finally have a book review for you. So it's not that I haven't been reading, it's just that I haven't had time to film a book review. I've had so many unboxings that have come along that's kind of taken priority because those have to get sent back. So I hope that you're still enjoying the unboxings and the fashionista piece of this channel, as well as the book reviews. I know that the fashionista piece has kind of taken priority, but let's jump right into this book review. This is actually a duet. So the first one we're going to talk about is Bring Down the Stars by Emma Scott. The second one, this is the first book in the Beautiful Hearts Duet. The second one is Long Live the Beautiful Hearts. So this came to me as what we refer to in Reading Brings Us Together. It's a Facebook group that I help to admin. This is it was a traveling book. So it came to me from another member of the group, recommended it, and I loved it. I loved it. I do not give 5-star reviews very often. I'm very stingy with my 5-star reviews, but this one got a 5-star. So let me just tell you really quickly about it, and then I will tell you 3 things that I like and 3 things that I disliked, which those are going to be kind of hard to find. And you will notice I don't have any notes with me today. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. So Bring Down the Stars is about several different people. We have Weston, who we learn about very quickly in the story. Weston was raised by a single mother with 2 older sisters, who his father leaves his family in somewhat of a dramatic way. He is exposed to that, and it affects him very deeply. So it's not really a spoiler. It happens at the very beginning. So we learn why Weston's guard is up. He has his heart very well protected because of the loss of that connection and that father that he loved so dearly when he was little. So we meet Weston very early on. We come to meet Connor, who is Weston's best friend. They become best friends in middle school when Weston, who is not of very well means, gets a scholarship to go to a private, I don't know that it's like a charter school or private school or boarding school. It's not a boarding school, but it's like a private school. So he writes an essay and gets accepted into this school under scholarship. So he quickly meets Connor, like the first or second day of school. They become best friends. Connor is from a well-to-do family. His mother is a senator. His father is a businessman, owns a lot of businesses. They make a lot of money. They have millions of dollars, and they end up being best friends. And Connor's family kind of takes on helping Weston and his family, helping with tuition costs, helping with housing, helping with those types of things, while Weston helps Connor out academically. So Weston kind of follows Connor's coattails, if you will, financially, while Connor does the same with Weston academically. So Weston ends up doing a lot of his papers for him and does a lot of his work for him in school. And Connor's just this kind of very happy-go-lucky kind of kid who, you know, he kind of has it all. Whereas Weston has to work hard for anything that he has or he gets. And again, he has his heart very guarded, whereas Connor's kind of a player and, you know, he's just kind of out to have a good time. So we meet those 2 characters. Initially, we get to know their friendship and their relationship, and then comes along Autumn when they are in college. So the boys both go to college together. Again, they are the same major. Connor and Weston share an apartment together that was financed by Connor's family. And I believe Weston is on scholarship for track. And then any other financial pieces Connor's family picks up while Weston is helping Connor academically in economics. However, Connor doesn't really want to go into economics. He has a dream of owning his own sports bar. Well, Connor's parents don't really approve of that. They have very high standards. They put a lot of pressure on him to kind of be what they think that he should be. And that's not really the route that he wants to take. Again, he's a very go-lucky, happy-go-lucky, likes to be around people, kind of kid. And I say kid, they're in their early 20s. But to me, he's a kid. So anyway, they eventually meet Autumn. They meet Autumn on the same day. Autumn is off of a breakup with an ex who she'd been with for a couple of years. She meets Connor. They make eye contact. They smile, while they're out in the courtyard. So they wave. They have that kind of contact. But then she meets Weston in the library the same day. They have some conversation. They learn a little bit about each other in terms of interest. You can see that Weston's kind of an asshole, and he has that guard up, and he meets her, but he kind of has he's attracted to her, but then Connor comes in and kind of, again, the happy-go-lucky guy, very comfortable with women, very comfortable with girls, and kind of takes over that conversation. So anyway, Connor and Autumn and Weston go on about their business. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens with all of that. At the end of book 1, we find the boys leaving college, and in the beginning of book 2, which is Long Live the Beautiful Hearts, we see the boys recovering from some things, and we see them coping with some tragedy and some drama, and we learn these relationships, how they have developed and how strong they've become, not only with Connor, Autumn, and Weston, but also with Autumn's best friend, who is Ruby, and also her roommate. So we find these relationships kind of shifting and moving around a little bit, and we see the strength that these characters have for themselves and for each other. There are times that you get really mad at the characters for the decisions that they make, and there are times that you want to cry, and you cry for these characters. They're just beautiful books. The second book, I ended up giving 4 stars. I liked it very much. This one was just more of a gut punch for me. I cried several times throughout this story. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It made me think about my own relationships, my own friendships during that time in my life. So I definitely would highly recommend both of these books. So let me talk a little bit about what I did like about the books. I liked, again, that it kind of challenged me to think about my own relationships, my own life, what maybe my children might be coping with right now with their relationships and their friendships during that time in their life. I do have 2 who are currently in college, so it allows me to relate to them a little bit and also reminisce about my own experiences in college. So I like that it brought that to the forefront for me. I liked that these characters were a little bit older. They weren't high school age. They weren't high school sweethearts. They were meeting in college, which a lot of people do meet their lifelong mates in college. And you kind of grow from those experiences. So I do like that they were a little bit older. That might have been like number 2. Like number 3 would be that this book really moved me. Emma Scott, she's a beautiful writer. She really knows how to make you connect to the characters and feel the characters, and I really like that about her writing. So it really brought me in to these characters, not only in this book, but in the second book as well. Before I start with my 3 dislikes, I want to talk a little bit about the my heat factor rating, I would give this book a heat factor of maybe a 3, if I recall correctly. There are a couple of scenes that are in here, but they're not very descriptive. However, the second book is a little more descriptive, especially towards the end of book 2. So I would probably rate that one as more of a 4, as it is a little bit more descriptive. There are a few more scenes in that one as well. But I think that I'm not one to shy away from smut by any means, but I do feel like these were significant and descriptive, especially in the second book, for a really good purpose. That, I mean, once you read them, you'll see exactly what I mean, but I feel like the scenes needed to be there so that the reader could understand exactly how everything was happening. So I really enjoyed, sorry, I'm getting into another like. I really enjoyed, I guess, a fourth like, that these characters did not come with a silver spoon in their mouth. Even Connor, who had a silver spoon, struggled with things with his parents and with his own, with his self, and struggling and having to rebuild and to relearn and to restructure his friendships and understand the importance of those things. So I really felt like these characters really, really developed throughout the story of these books. And so I enjoyed learning about these characters, not only at the beginning, but how they changed and developed over time. Not only the characters themselves, but the characters' relationships. So anyway, so what I disliked, let's see, about the books, those are a little bit harder for me. Like I said, I did give this one a 5-star. The second one was a 4-star. For me, if anything, one thing I would have liked to have seen more of was Ruby, who is Autumn's best friend. I really enjoyed her character. I would have liked to have gotten to know her a little bit better. We learn a lot about Weston, Connor, and Autumn throughout the story, but we don't see a lot of Ruby. I mean, she's there, and we see her. We just don't know a lot about her backstory. So that was one thing that I disliked and would like to have seen more of. It's not that it was really a dislike. I just would have liked to have seen more of it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else I disliked. I'm not sure that there's anything else that I disliked. There wasn't anything that stood out to me, and I don't want to say I dislike something that's not really there. So we're going to leave it at that. I can't think of anything else that stuck out as anything that I disliked about this book. I mean, I really just want to keep raving about it. Oh, and another thing that I really, really liked, again, I'm just kind of winging this, I don't have any notes with me or anything, is the poetry that was in this book and the second book. The poetry from one of the characters is just beautiful, and again, it just is a testament to Emma's writing. Not only can she write beautiful words in a novel, but she can write beautiful poetry as well. So I don't know. I just read these books. They were great. I loved them. I highly recommend them. If you haven't read Emma Scott before, you need to read Emma. I haven't read her whole library, but I've read these 2 books. And I will post a picture of Long Live the Beautiful Heart so that you know what that looks like. And then I have read A 5-Minute Life by Emma Scott as well. And that one actually made my top 5 of 2020 review. So if you want to check that one out, I will link it above so that you can see that top 5 of 2020 books there as well. So let me see. Moving on to some movie recommendations or TV show recommendations. My husband and I are still watching The Blacklist. We are making significant progress. We are at the end of season 6. So we're almost at the end of what's on Netflix anyway. And then I have started watching A Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. So the first few episodes of it, I really enjoyed. It follows Abby and a couple of her friends. Abby is an author, and she writes these girlfriend's guides. So it might be girlfriend's guides to divorce, girlfriend's guides to parenting, that kind of thing. So she gets to the first episode as she's doing these book tours, and she kind of just like spills it all. Like, there are times that I want to kill my husband. And she's kind of leaves it at that, and then she walks out. So anyway, so she and her husband are heading for divorce, and we kind of follow her, and we follow her friends who are also struggling with being single parents or going through divorce as well. So we're following them on their journey. The first few episodes I enjoyed much more than where I'm at now. I'm probably at the probably mid towards the end of the first season. I don't know if I'll keep watching it or not. I may. If you guys have seen it, let me know if I need to continue watching. I may or may not continue watching it. We'll see. And then I watched a couple of movies here. We've had some snow, so I've been out of school for a couple of days. I watched Love, Wedding, Repeat, I think is what it was called. It was a movie on Netflix, and it has Sam... I can't think of his name. I'll post a picture. He was in Me Before You, the movie. Again, I can't remember his last name. I think his first name is Sam. So I watched it. It was just, it was just kind of okay. And then I watched Like Father. It had Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer in it. I like both of those actors, and that was kind of a fun movie. Kristen Bell plays Rachel. She gets left at the altar, but she has this 2-week cruise or 10-day cruise or something like that waiting on her. So she, her father shows up at her wedding, who she hasn't seen for like 26 years. They end up getting drunk the night before. The cruise is to sail away, and they end up going on this cruise together and rebonding. And so it was very cute and a nice heartwarming movie. So if you like those kind of movies, you might want to check it out. Music recommendations. We have Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls. And then we have, what is that song by Train? Something about an angel. Angel in Blue Jeans, I think is what it's called. Yes, Angel in Blue Jeans. I'll check it and put it down below, down here, so that you can see what that song was. And then we also had Foolish Games by Jewel. So those are your 3 music recommendations today. Add those to your Spotify playlist, and let me know what you think of them when we come back. I think that is all that I have for you. Oh, let me quickly finish. My next book, and I've had this one sitting on my bookshelf, is the Songbook of Lament. So I am definitely going to do a review of this one for you guys. This one comes out March 16th. It is Amy Harmon. She is fabulous. Don't miss this book. I'm going to read it and review it next. So you should see that review in the next couple of weeks. I'm super excited about this one. So if you have not subscribed to my channel and you like bookish content and you like fashion content, because that's kind of what I'm all about, please feel free to subscribe, like this video, hit the notification bell so that you know when I post. I am on Instagram, Sincerely Cindy Settle. I've just opened a TikTok and I have no idea how to do that. So I may end up doing some stuff there as well. But I look forward to seeing you guys everywhere. Let me know what you're currently reading. If you've read these books, what you thought of them. And I will see you guys soon. I am signing out. I am Sincerely Cindy Settle.